A Southside assault over the weekend has left the victim fighting for his life. Good evening and thank you for joining us. A 24-year-old man is in hospital with life-threatening injuries.
That's after an assault this weekend in the parking lot of a Southside hotel. Officers were dispatched to Valhalla Inn Road around 2:15 Sunday morning after Superior North EMS responded to a report that a male required medical attention. The victim was suffering from critical injuries and was rushed to the regional hospital by paramedics. City police located a 35-year-old Montreal man nearby and arrested him without incident. He's been charged with aggravated assault and remains in custody with a future court date. The LCBO is launching a pilot project in northwestern Ontario as part of an effort to reduce liquor thefts and improve safety for customers and staff.
This spring, the 4 outlets in Thunder Bay will have controlled entrances, which will include a security vestibule where people will have to present ID before entering the store. Jonathan Wilson reports.
The LCBO outlet on the corner of Cumberland and Villa Streets has been notorious for repeated liquor thefts over the years, and the other stores in Thunder Bay have had problems as well. The LCBO says theft is a serious issue that poses a safety risk for employees and customers. It's also a burden on local police forces and hurts the LCBO's bottom line. Now the 4 local outlets, along with ones in Kenora and Sioux Lookout, are part of a pilot project announced on Monday. The agency has released this diagram of the new controlled entrance system. Customers will enter the exterior door and present their ID to security personnel at the vestibule. Their name, date of birth, and photo is then uploaded to the secured database. If the customer is of age and not been banned from the store, the interior door will be open to that customer one at a time. The new system will roll out in the spring, and some people we spoke to say they're in favor of the changes.
I haven't got a problem with it at all. It's like saying locks are for honest people.
I think it'll help really good, for people stealing and stuff like that.
It'll provide safety for the staff and also keep the price down for people who are buying alcohol, because as people steal, the price of things goes up as well. So it'll be a better situation, I think.
Well, people are going to realize that they can't just go in and do what they want. They'll have to go through security first and come back out. I think it'll work great.
Yeah.
The controlled entrance system was implemented in Manitoba in 2020, and the stats show it's resulted in a significant drop in liquor theft. One local customer we spoke to, who is from Winnipeg, says the change there had mostly positive results.
How did this work in Manitoba?
Well, they've had it for a couple of years, and everybody who works there feels real safe, and that's great. It just takes forever to get inside, but, trade-off, small trade-off.
The pilot project at the 6 LCBOs in the Northwest will be in place for 1 year. The agency will study the results before making any decisions about making the controlled entrances permanent or expanding the program to other areas. Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.
Thunder Bay's 2024 budget is up for ratification tonight at City Hall. Council's expected to make the final vote after some notable changes during the deliberation meetings. The budget was approved with a tax levy hike of 5.93% before growth and 5.48% after. One of the additions during the process was an extra $250,000 for the Thunder Bay Police Service. Despite that and other additions, Council did hit its tax hike target. However, many around the table felt it still wasn't low enough. Changes to the budget can still be made at tonight's meeting.
A Thunder Bay area motorist has been charged with impaired driving and stunt driving after OPP spotted a pickup truck traveling at more than 160 kilometers an hour. It happened around 11:30 Saturday night on the Thunder Bay Expressway. The 32-year-old Roslyn man has also been charged with driving while under suspension and 2 counts of failing to comply with previous probation orders. Meanwhile, a 43-year-old Marathon man has been charged with careless driving after his car plunged down an embankment on Sunday morning. That happened along Highway 17 near Coldwater Township. The badly damaged sedan wound up at the bottom of a steep, rocky slope. OPP say the driver was lucky to suffer only minor injuries.
Ontario's top court has ruled that a controversial law capping raises for public sector workers is unconstitutional.
The decision is a blow to the Ford government, which sought to appeal a lower court ruling that struck down the law. Siobhan Morris has the details.
It's a blow for the Ford government. A second court has found its wage-capping legislation, Bill 124, is unconstitutional.
Today is a victory for workers, for Ontario's labour movement, and for our healthcare, education, and public services.
In a 2-1 decision, Ontario's Court of Appeal found the bill that held public sector wage increases at 1% a year violated charter rights, those connected with association and collective bargaining.
Calling on the government to not appeal this court decision, workers are 2-0. Have you noticed?
No indication yet from the finance minister if the government will ask the Supreme Court to weigh in.
We'll take the time to take a look at it thoughtfully and deliberately. I know it affects a lot of people, so we want to make sure in the period of time that we have to make a decision, we'll be thoughtful about it.
Bethlyn Falvey can't say how much more the province will have to fork out in catch-up pay to workers whose wages were held back. The government spent $1.7 billion more on healthcare last quarter, much of that going to extra compensation.
It's a moving thing. All I can say is that we're very prudent in making sure that we plan responsibly.
Not every worker covered by Bill 124 has been entitled to back pay. The Court of Appeal also found the rights of workers who aren't covered by a union weren't violated here.
We are not leaving any worker behind. And so we are going to be working collectively to bring awareness of where that is and to apply pressure to the government and to the employers to do the right thing.
In the years the government has spent digging in, defending the controversial legislation,
they have lost the respect of Ontarians, in fact, nurses and healthcare professionals.
Motivating some to leave the profession entirely.
What they have gained is a reinvigorated labor movement. We'll take it all the way to the Supreme Court, but on the way, we will make their lives hell.
Confederation College recently hosted its annual Early Childhood Education Career Fair.
It gives graduating students from the program an opportunity to network and speak with potential employers across the Thunder Bay District who are in desperate need of staff. Jaden Billick reports.
Daycares have been in a frantic search to find quality staff to fill their empty positions for quite some time. At this ECE Career Fair, employers are hoping to find hardworking, open-minded, and knowledgeable individuals who are inspired in the learning and growth of young children. Students graduating from the program will work in settings such as childcare, kindergarten, and family programs. Confederation College Program Coordinator Maria Cole says the district needs about 130 full-time ECEs in order to reach an adequate capacity.
So we have an opportunity for employers from the Thunder Bay District coming in to share about their program, their philosophy, and the amount of jobs that are required within the field. And we have students having the opportunity to learn to network and to be part of a community of early childhood educators and what is possibly available for them as they graduate.
The program is a 2-year diversified curriculum based on the needs of the community. With partnerships alongside the Thunder Bay DSAB, they're currently holding a fast-track syllabus as well as a pre-ECE certificate, inspiring individuals to work in the field of childcare education, where they can support children in their overall growth and development, innovation, and creativity to encourage and aid growth of our new generation.
The early childhood education field is a wonderful field to be in, and as a lot of people know, we are in a crisis right now, so most centers are looking for early childhood educators and qualified early childhood educators. There's a lot of growth within our community, and things like this at a career fair is we get to meet a lot of students, prospective employers, so it's a wonderful way to bring the community together.
The important role of an ECE gives opportunity to provide inclusive environments for children. From ages 0 to 6, kids are both developing and learning constantly from everything around them. Staff within the area daycares need to provide a secure and safe relationship with both children and families, as they are responsible to meet those needs while parents are at work. Second-year graduating student Maisie Lloyd speaks about her experiences.
So for the past 2 years, I've been open to lots of experiences at Confederation College. I have had the opportunity to work alongside some amazing early childhood educators, and I'm super excited to see where the program goes in the future.
Jaden Billick, TBT News.
The 19th annual Easter Seals Snoworama event looked a little different this year.
Snowmobilers weren't able to ride as much as they normally would due to the lack of snow, but that didn't stop participants from here and northern Minnesota from coming by to raise money in support of children and youth with disabilities. Jessica Clement reports.
Despite the minimal snow, the 19th annual Easter Seal Snoworama had a successful turnout with around 80 people making the trek to Grand Portage Casino for the event.
Some people didn't even bring their snow machines because just not a lot of snow out there this year, but they're still coming out to support the cause, which is absolutely amazing. We're still raising a lot of money for Easter Seal kids. A lot of people out there just coming out, going to hang out at the casino for the weekend and show their support of Easter Seals and donating and participating wherever they can.
Easter Seal's Northern Region Manager Rhonda Harrison says this year, over $29,000 was raised for Easter Seals kids. Throughout the years, Snoworama has raised over $575,000, with the funds helping to purchase mobility equipment, communication devices, and also provide summer camp opportunities for kids with disabilities. Harrison says it's been amazing seeing the event grow.
The Grand Portage Casino Snoworama is one of the biggest in the province. This actually kicks off our whole fundraising season for the year, so we're very grateful of all the supports.
Participants usually have 2 snowmobiling routes to choose from, a 120-mile one or a 35-mile one. However, this year, snowmobilers only had about 12 miles of Minnesota trails to ride. Grand Portage Trail Riders volunteer Tony Swader says they were working tirelessly to ensure attendees had some kind of riding experience.
We did get a little bit of snow and we had the groomers out, and then we got a lot more rain and warm weather, but we got a little bit of snow. We had the groomers out last night. We got the trails flat. It's not going to be a racetrack, but it's going to be very enjoyable. So I'm so happy that all these people came out to help the kids.
Despite this year's setback, Brett Turner, lodge manager at Grand Portage Casino, says they plan on keeping the event going year after year.
We're already going to be ready for next year. We're trying to make it better. Last year was awesome. This year so far, awesome. Next year, we can only get better and better and better. So it's a partnership that we're very proud of, and we're going to keep maintaining it, as long as they want to keep maintaining it with us.
More information about Snoworama can be found on their website. Jessica Clement, TBT News.
Well, no surprise to hear that the lack of snow, Haley, affected that event. I mean, you've spent the last 2 or 3 weeks doing weather for us, and you were hot weather Haley.
Yes.
Now, Fiona, you were back from vacation, and now we are seeing those temperatures start to inch back down towards seasonal values.
Yep, from hot weather Haley to freezing Fiona. We are getting a little bit cooler. Not really cold. Definitely below freezing today, and we started out with a very mild low of -7, wind chills around -9. We warmed up to -3. Normals for this time of year actually highs of about -5, so we're really not far off the mark, but definitely a little closer than we saw last week. Now, winds were very calm for much of the day. We had snow in the morning, some light flurries. Under very calm conditions, winds gusted up to 15 kilometers per hour from the northwest in the afternoon. That's as the sky started to clear out a little bit, but we're still mostly cloudy for much of the day. If we take a look at what happened with the radar, we've had a little bit of snow to the west and through the Great Lakes, a little bit to the north and up into Red Lake. So basically everybody has had a little taste of winter-like precipitation. Temperature-wise, not much movement at all today in Fort Frances. They had a low of -5 and they're now at a high of -4. That's 1 degree difference with periods of snow. Red Lake, it was definitely a little bit cooler last night, -12, wind chills, a little bit cooler than that. Right now at -11 or -7, the wind chill is at -11. They've had light snow pop up a couple of times, and as we head eastward into Greenstone, they too, like Fort Frances, really hasn't seen their temperatures change much. They had a low of -8. They got up to -7 this afternoon, and they're back down to -8 right now with wind chills a little bit gustier. It feels like -14 with that snow continuing, and Sault Ste. Marie has had snow just start this afternoon as that snow moved through Lake Superior. They're currently at -2 after an overnight low of -8. And wind chills, again, just minimal effect on the conditions. Here in the city of Thunder Bay tonight, we are going to be much cooler and much more seasonal in our overnight hours. -15 and a wind chill of -18. That's under mainly cloudy skies. There's about a 30% chance we might see a little bit more light snow. But what has been moving through has been very light, just dusting barely worth shoveling, more what I would refer to as sweeping weather rather than shoveling weather. And as we head into Tuesday, well, it is going to continue to be much more seasonal. It seems like the winter weather is back again. The question is, how long is it going to last? And I'll have more details on that later on in the News Hour, guys.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Fiona. I know we haven't had a lot of snow yet, but I'm happy that it's the sweeping kind of snow as opposed to the shoveling kind of snow, because although I haven't had to do it much this year, I don't really want to.
You're just lazy.
I'm incredibly lazy. Yeah, I won't argue with you there. All right, turning to national news now. A glaring disregard for basic management. That is how the Auditor General described the government oversight when it comes to the ArriveCan app. Remember, that was that controversial pandemic travel app that the government implemented in 2020, excuse me. We'll have details on that and more when your Monday News Hour continues right after the break.
It is really glaring, some of the most basic things that we're missing here. It's a bit of a head scratcher as to why it didn't happen